Hello there, welcome to the Mind Whisper channel. I'm very glad you're here with me tonight. Tonight's journey will take us into the quiet, mysterious skies above our world, into stories, questions, and wonders surrounding UFOs. Unidentified flying objects have appeared in human history for centuries, drifting through ancient texts, modern radar screens, and whispered conversations beneath star-filled skies. Some are lights that move in ways we don't yet understand. Some are objects recorded by pilots and satellites. And some may simply be natural phenomena, waiting patiently for explanation. But all of them invite curiosity rather than fear, gentle reminders that the universe is vast, and that we do not yet know all its secrets. Tonight, we won't rush to answers. We'll move slowly, one calm thought at a time. From glowing orbs hovering silently in the night to official reports released decades later. These are quiet wonders meant to relax the mind, not excite it. If these gentle explorations help you unwind or drift toward sleep, please like and subscribe to the channel, or share your thoughts in the comments. It helps more people find this peaceful space, one sleepy soul at a time. Now, let your shoulders soften, let your breathing slow. Imagine the sky stretching endlessly above you, calm, dark, and full of quiet possibilities. And when you're ready, let's begin. 1. The meaning behind the term UFO. The term UFO stands for unidentified flying object. Despite how dramatic it may sound, the word itself is surprisingly simple. It does not mean a spaceship, an alien craft, or something supernatural. It simply describes any object seen in the sky that cannot be immediately identified. For centuries, humans have looked upward and noticed things they couldn't explain right away. Before modern science, these sights were often described as omens, spirits, or signs from the gods. Today, we use a more neutral term, UFO, to acknowledge that sometimes we simply don't know what we're seeing. This uncertainty doesn't have to be frightening. In fact, it can be calming. A UFO is not a declaration of danger. It's an invitation to pause and wonder. It reminds us that knowledge is always incomplete, and that curiosity is a natural part of being human. As you listen, imagine standing beneath a quiet night sky, watching something drift slowly overhead. You don't need to name it. You don't need to explain it. You can simply observe, breathe, and let the mystery remain gentle and open. 2. Why UFOs are now often called UAPs. In recent years, scientists and governments have begun using a new term, UAP, which stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. The change was made not to create drama, but to create clarity. Object suggests something solid and mechanical. Phenomena, however, leaves more room for possibilities. A UAP could be a reflection, a natural atmospheric event, a sensor glitch, or something entirely unknown. The word allows space for careful observation without jumping to conclusions. This shift in language is quiet and thoughtful. It reflects a desire to understand rather than to sensationalize. By using UAP, researchers acknowledge that the sky is complex, and that not everything seen in it fits neatly into familiar categories. There is something soothing about this careful approach. It mirrors the way we sometimes treat our own thoughts before sleep, noticing them, naming them gently, and letting them pass without judgment. Like drifting clouds, these aerial phenomena don't demand answers right away. 3. Ancient sky sightings recorded in early civilizations. Long before radar screens and telescopes, ancient people watched the skies with deep attention. The heavens were their calendar, their compass, and their source of stories. In many ancient texts, there are descriptions of strange lights, fiery disks, or moving stars that behaved unlike anything else. In ancient Egypt, records speak of glowing objects crossing the sky. Roman historians wrote of shields of fire hovering above battlefields. In China, careful court astronomers documented unusual celestial events with remarkable precision. These accounts were not written to frighten. They were observations, calm, curious, and often poetic. The sky was alive, and humanity felt connected to it. Listening to these stories now, we can feel a sense of continuity. Across thousands of years, people have shared the same experience, looking up, noticing something unusual, and feeling a quiet mix of awe and humility. The mystery has always been there, gently watching back. 4. Strange lights seen by sailors at sea. For sailors, the night sky and the open ocean blend into one vast darkness. With no cities and no land in sight, even small lights can feel extraordinary. For centuries, sailors have reported glowing orbs hovering above the water or drifting silently through the air. Some of these lights are now thought to be natural phenomena, such as bioluminescent organisms, electrical effects in the atmosphere, or reflections from distant stars. Others remain unexplained, appearing suddenly and fading just as quietly. What's striking is how often these sightings are described as peaceful rather than alarming. Sailors often reported a sense of calm, as if the lights were simply sharing the space with them. Imagine being on a quiet deck, waves moving rhythmically below, the sky wide and endless above. A soft glow appears, lingers, and then slips away. The ocean continues, the night breathes, and the moment becomes part of the gentle memory of the sea. 5. The calm silence often reported during sightings. One detail appears again and again in UFO reports: silence. Unlike airplanes or storms, many sightings are described as completely soundless. Objects move smoothly through the sky without engines, without vibration, without noise. Silence has a powerful effect on the human mind. It slows time. It draws attention inward. When something unusual happens without sound, it often feels dreamlike, as if the world has briefly paused. Witnesses often say that during these moments, fear fades and curiosity takes over. The absence of noise makes the experience feel distant and gentle, rather than intrusive. As you rest now, imagine that same silence surrounding you. No urgency, no alarms, just stillness, broken only by slow breathing and drifting thoughts. Like a quiet object crossing the night sky, your worries can pass without sound, leaving behind calm, open space where sleep can gently arrive. 6. Why UFOs are usually seen at night. Most UFO sightings happen after sunset, when the sky grows dark and the world becomes quieter. At night, our senses shift. Colors soften, sounds fade, and the sky transforms into a deep canvas where even the smallest light stands out. In daylight, the sky is bright and busy, filled with clouds, birds, and aircraft. At night, however, a single moving point of light can capture all of our attention. Our eyes naturally search the darkness, and our minds slow down, becoming more open to subtle changes. This doesn't mean that UFOs only appear at night, only that darkness makes us more aware of them. Night creates contrast, and contrast creates wonder. As the stars emerge one by one, the sky feels larger, deeper, and full of quiet possibility. Imagine lying still, watching the night sky. The darkness isn't empty, it's spacious, and in that space, gentle mysteries are easier to notice, and easier to let drift by without concern. 7. The slow, drifting movement many witnesses describe. Unlike fast-moving jets or shooting stars, many UFOs are reported to move slowly and smoothly. They drift, hover, or glide across the sky, as if carried by an unseen current. This kind of motion feels calm rather than urgent. It doesn't demand immediate reaction. It invites observation. People often describe watching these objects for several seconds or even minutes, feeling oddly relaxed as they follow their path. Slow movement allows the mind to settle, just as watching clouds drift or leaves float on water can be soothing. These gentle motions in the sky seem to quiet the observer's thoughts. As you listen, imagine something moving slowly overhead, unhurried and silent. There is no rush, no destination you need to reach. Just a steady, peaceful glide, much like the rhythm of your breathing as it deepens and softens. 8. glowing orbs and their soothing appearance. One of the most common descriptions in UFO reports is that of glowing orbs, soft spheres of light. Often white, yellow, or faintly orange, these lights are usually described as steady rather than flashing, with a gentle glow that feels almost warm. Unlike harsh spotlights or blinking aircraft lights, these orbs seem to glow from within. Witnesses often say they feel drawn to watch them, as if the light itself carries a calming presence. Psychologically, soft light has a relaxing effect. It signals safety and warmth. Think of candlelight, distant stars, or a lantern seen from afar. These gentle lights don't overwhelm, they comfort. Picture one of these orbs now, suspended in the night sky. It glows quietly, not calling attention to itself. Simply existing. You don't need to follow it or understand it. You can let its calm presence mirror your own growing sense of rest. 9. UFOs that appear and vanish without sound. Many sightings describe objects that seem to appear suddenly, linger briefly, and then fade away, without any explosion, flash, or noise. One moment, the light is there, the next, it is gone. This kind of disappearance feels soft, like a thought drifting out of awareness or a dream dissolving upon waking. There is no disruption, no sharp ending. Such moments often leave witnesses feeling thoughtful rather than alarmed. The experience feels incomplete, but not disturbing, like a story without an ending, left open on purpose. As you prepare for sleep, you may notice your own thoughts behaving this way. They appear, hover for a moment, and then quietly disappear. You don't chase them, you don't hold on, you let them go, just as these quiet lights slip back into the darkness. 10. How pilots describe unusual aerial encounters. Pilots spend thousands of hours in the sky, trained to observe carefully and remain calm, when they report unusual aerial encounters. Their descriptions are often precise, measured, and free of speculation. They speak of objects that move smoothly, hold steady positions, or shift direction without obvious propulsion. Often, these encounters are brief, lasting only moments before the object moves away or disappears. What stands out in many pilot reports is the absence of panic. These professionals are accustomed to unexpected situations, and their tone remains steady and observational. This calm perspective can be reassuring. It reminds us that not every unknown is a threat. Sometimes, it is simply something we haven't yet placed into a familiar category. As you drift towards sleep, imagine yourself floating gently above the world, observing without urgency, like a pilot cruising through a quiet sky. You can trust the stillness around you, and allow rest to take over. Smooth and effortless. 11. Objects that move against the wind. One detail that often captures attention in UFO reports is movement against the wind. Witnesses describe objects drifting calmly in one direction while clouds, smoke, or tree branches clearly move in another. To the observing mind, this feels unusual. We are used to seeing balloons, birds, and debris carried along by invisible currents of air. When something moves independently, smoothly and without effort, it gently disrupts our expectations. Yet this disruption doesn't always bring fear. Instead, it often brings stillness. The mind pauses, curious but calm, trying to understand without rushing to judgment. It becomes a quiet moment of observation rather than alarm. As you rest now, imagine releasing your own resistance. Let your thoughts stop pushing and pulling against one another. Like that object in the sky, you can move freely, or not move at all, simply resting in the calm space you've created. 12. Sudden right-angle turns in the sky. Some sightings describe objects that change direction sharply, making clean, right-angle turns that seem impossible for conventional aircraft. These movements are often smooth and precise, without visible slowing or strain. Our brains are wired to notice patterns. When something breaks those patterns, it captures attention, but instead of chaos, these movements often feel deliberate and controlled, like a dancer changing steps with perfect balance. Witnesses frequently describe a sense of quiet astonishment rather than fear. The motion doesn't feel aggressive or threatening. It simply doesn't fit into familiar rules. As you listen, imagine your own thoughts gently changing direction. You don't need to follow every worry or replay every moment of the day. You can turn away softly, choosing rest instead. Like those clean turns in the sky, your mind can shift effortlessly towards sleep. 13. Why UFOs are rarely aggressive. Across decades of reports from around the world, one thing stands out: aggression is rare. Most UFO sightings involve distant observation, lights far away, objects passing overhead, or brief moments of appearance before disappearance. There are no widespread accounts of attacks or hostile behavior. Instead, there is distance, silence, and restraint. Whatever these phenomena may be, they do not appear to intrude forcefully into human life. This pattern can be comforting. It suggests that the unknown is not necessarily dangerous. Often, it is simply unfamiliar. As night settles in, it can be reassuring to remember that mystery does not equal threat. The dark sky above you is vast, but it is also quiet and neutral. You can rest within it, safe and undisturbed. 14. The peaceful curiosity of most witnesses. When people describe seeing a UFO, the dominant emotion is often curiosity. They speak of stopping to watch, feeling surprised, and wanting to understand, not wanting to run or hide. This curiosity feels gentle, almost childlike. It's the same feeling we have when watching fireflies, shooting stars, or distant lightning on the horizon. There is wonder, not urgency. In these moments, time seems to slow down. The mind becomes focused and calm, anchored in the present. As you lie here listening, allow yourself that same peaceful curiosity. You don't need answers tonight. You don't need conclusions. You can simply notice the rhythm of your breath, the weight of your body, and the quiet openness of the moment. 15. Radar detections with no visual match. Sometimes, UFO reports come not from the human eye, but from instruments. Radar systems have occasionally detected objects moving through the air without any visible confirmation. To scientists, this presents a puzzle. Instruments are precise, yet they can be affected by weather, interference, or unusual atmospheric conditions. Still, when radar shows movement where nothing can be seen, it creates a space for careful investigation. What's interesting is how these cases are often handled calmly and methodically. Data is reviewed, possibilities are considered, no rush to dramatic conclusions. This measured response mirrors a healthy approach to rest. Not every sensation or thought needs immediate explanation. Some things can simply be noted and set aside. As sleep approaches, imagine your mind like a radar screen. Thoughts may appear briefly, then fade. You acknowledge them gently, without chasing them, allowing the screen to return to quiet, open stillness. 16. Sightings that leave no physical trace. Many UFO encounters end the same quiet way they begin, with nothing left behind. No marks on the ground, no broken trees, no lasting physical evidence, just a memory, held gently by the person who witnessed it. This absence of traces can feel puzzling, but it also keeps the experience soft and non-intrusive. The moment comes, and then it goes, without altering the physical world. Like a dream upon waking, it fades without leaving a footprint. There is something comforting about this. Not every experience needs to leave a mark to be meaningful. Some moments exist only in awareness, and that is enough. As you rest now, imagine your day dissolving in the same way. No need to carry it forward. Let it pass through you and fade, leaving behind only calm and ease. 17. Why many UFOs are described as oval-shaped. Across cultures and decades, witnesses often describe UFOs as oval, disc-like, or smoothly rounded. These shapes feel simple and balanced, without sharp edges or aggressive angles. In nature, rounded forms are everywhere: planets, water droplets, the moon, even our own eyes. The mind finds these shapes soothing and familiar. They suggest wholeness and continuity. When people see rounded objects in the sky, they often describe a sense of harmony rather than threat. The shape itself feels calm, almost natural. As you drift closer to sleep, imagine a smooth, rounded form floating gently overhead. No corners, no tension, just a soft, balanced presence, mirroring the way your body settles deeper into rest. 18. The gentle pulsing of reported lights. Some sightings mention lights that pulse slowly, brightening and dimming in a steady rhythm. The pulsing is not sharp or flashing, but smooth and gradual, like a slow heartbeat or a distant lighthouse. Rhythm has a powerful effect on the nervous system. Slow, predictable pulses can calm the mind and signal safety. That may be why witnesses often feel relaxed while watching these lights. The steady glow rising and falling creates a natural focus point, drawing attention away from racing thoughts and toward quiet observation. As you listen, imagine a soft light pulsing gently in the darkness. Inhale as it brightens, exhale as it dims. Let your breathing follow its pace, slow and even, guiding you gently toward sleep. 19. UFOs hovering effortlessly in one place. Hovering is another commonly reported behavior, objects that remain suspended in the air without movement, noise, or visible support. They seem to rest in the sky as naturally as a star. This stillness can feel deeply calming. There is no urgency, no struggle against gravity, just effortless balance. Witnesses often describe watching these hovering objects in silence, feeling time stretch and slow. The moment becomes meditative, almost peaceful. Allow yourself to imagine that same stillness now. You don't need to move. You don't need to do anything at all. Like that quiet object in the sky, you can simply hover in rest, supported and at ease. 20. Sightings near mountains and remote areas. UFO sightings are often reported in remote places, deserts, mountains, open plains, and quiet coastlines. These environments are far from city lights and constant noise, making the sky feel closer and more alive. In these places, silence is deeper, stars appear brighter, the boundary between earth and sky feels thinner. It becomes easier to notice subtle movements and gentle lights overhead. Remote landscapes naturally encourage reflection and calm. They remind us of our small place within a vast world. As you prepare to sleep, imagine yourself in a wide, quiet place, perhaps a mountain ridge beneath a dark sky, or an open field under countless stars. There is nothing demanding your attention, just space, stillness, and the slow, steady arrival of rest. 21. Why sightings are often brief. Many UFO encounters last only a few seconds or minutes. A light appears, moves gently across the sky, and then fades away before the observer can fully process what they are seeing. These brief moments can feel strangely complete. Even without answers, the experience doesn't linger long enough to become overwhelming. It arrives softly and leaves the same way. There is something calming about short encounters. They don't demand action or explanation. They simply pass through awareness, like a quiet sound in the distance. As you settle into rest, you may notice your own thoughts becoming shorter and softer. They arise, linger briefly, and then drift away. You don't need to hold on to them. Let them be as brief as these quiet sightings in the sky. 22. The calming mystery of unanswered questions. One of the most soothing aspects of UFO stories is that many questions remain unanswered. There is no final explanation, no sharp conclusion. In a world that often pushes for constant answers, this open-endedness can feel like a relief. It allows the mind to rest instead of analyze. Mystery doesn't always need to be solved. Sometimes, it can simply exist alongside us, like a distant star whose light reaches us without revealing its full story. As you prepare for sleep, allow yourself to release the need to know. Tonight is not for solutions. It's for rest, for softness, for letting the unknown remain gentle and distant. 23. Government investigations into UFO reports. Over the years, Governments around the world have quietly investigated reports of unidentified aerial phenomena. Committees were formed, data collected, and cases reviewed with careful attention. Most of these investigations were not dramatic. They were methodical, patient, and often inconclusive. Many reports were explained as aircraft, weather events, or equipment errors. Some, however, remained unresolved. What stands out is the calm tone of these efforts. There was no rush to panic, only a desire to understand. This measured approach mirrors a peaceful mindset. Not everything needs an immediate reaction. Sometimes, observation and patience are enough. As you rest, imagine your mind conducting its own gentle review, acknowledging the day, then setting it aside without judgment. 24. Declassified documents released years later. With time, many UFO-related documents have been declassified and released to the public. These papers often describe sightings in dry, factual language, stripped of drama. Reading them can feel surprisingly grounding. They show that even strange experiences can be approached with calm curiosity and care. The passage of time softens everything. What once felt urgent becomes quiet history. As sleep approaches, allow time to do the same for your own concerns. Let them fade into the background, becoming less sharp, less demanding, until they gently dissolve. 25. Why many reports remain unexplained. Despite investigation and analysis, some UFO reports remain unexplained, not because they are extraordinary, but because there isn't enough information to draw a conclusion. This lack of resolution doesn't mean failure. It simply means that understanding has limits. There is peace in accepting those limits. The universe is vast, and our knowledge is still growing. As you drift closer to sleep, let yourself accept not knowing. You are safe without answers tonight. The sky can keep its secrets, and you can rest, calm and undisturbed, beneath its quiet expanse. 26. Natural phenomena mistaken for UFOs. Many UFO sightings eventually find gentle explanations in nature itself. The sky is full of subtle and beautiful phenomena that are easy to misinterpret. Especially at night, clouds can reflect distant city lights. Ice crystals can create halos and pillars of light. Meteors can glow softly before fading away. These natural events are not failures of perception. They are reminders of how complex and alive the atmosphere truly is. Even familiar elements like air and light can behave in surprising ways. There is something comforting in this. It shows that mystery doesn't always come from somewhere far away. Sometimes, it comes from the world we already live in, quietly doing what it has always done. As you rest now, imagine the sky gently rearranging itself, clouds drifting, light bending, the air moving in slow, unseen patterns. You don't need to understand it all. You can simply let it happen, just as you let sleep arrive. 27. Weather balloons and silent drifting objects. Weather balloons are one of the most common explanations for slow-moving objects seen in the sky. High above the ground, they drift silently, reflecting sunlight or moonlight in ways that can appear unusual. From far below, their size and distance are hard to judge. They may seem closer or farther than they really are, moving in ways that don't match expectations. Yet there is nothing alarming about them. They are gentle tools, floating patiently as they collect information about the atmosphere. Picture one now, rising slowly into the open sky, carried by invisible currents. Its movement is steady and calm, without urgency. Like that balloon, you can allow yourself to drift, supported, light, and at ease. 28. Atmospheric plasma and glowing lights. Some scientists believe that rare forms of atmospheric plasma may explain certain glowing UFO sightings. These luminous events can appear as floating orbs, changing shape or brightness before fading away. Plasma is a state of matter that exists between gas and energy, and it behaves in ways that feel almost magical. It can glow, pulse, and move unpredictably, yet it is entirely natural. The idea that Earth itself can create such gentle lights is quietly beautiful. It reminds us that wonder does not always come from beyond, sometimes. It rises softly from the world beneath our feet. As you breathe slowly, imagine the air around you holding faint traces of light and energy. Calm and balanced, let that image warm you as you sink deeper into rest. 29. How human perception fills in the unknown. The human brain is a remarkable pattern maker. When information is incomplete, it naturally fills in gaps, creating meaning from fragments. At night, with limited visual cues, this process becomes even stronger. A distant light, a moving shadow, or a reflection can quickly become something more in the mind's eye. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature. Our perception evolved to keep us aware and curious. As you prepare for sleep, it can be comforting to remember that your thoughts work the same way. They create stories, connect memories, and imagine possibilities. You don't need to follow every story tonight. You can let them fade gently, knowing they are simply the mind doing what it does best. 30. The role of imagination in night sightings. Imagination becomes especially active in darkness. Without clear details, the mind explores possibilities freely, painting images in the quiet space of night. This imaginative quality doesn't diminish the experience of a sighting. Instead, it adds a human layer to it: emotion, wonder, and curiosity. Imagination is also what allows us to dream, to relax, and to drift into sleep. It softens the edges of reality and opens the door to rest. As you lie here now, allow your imagination to slow down. Let it become gentle and fluid, like mist drifting across a field. You don't need to control it. You can simply let it carry you, softly and safely, into sleep. 31. UFO sightings across different cultures. Stories of unusual objects in the sky appear in cultures all around the world. From ancient texts to modern reports, people separated by oceans and centuries have described similar experiences: lights moving strangely, shapes hovering, moments of quiet wonder. These shared stories don't always match in detail, but they share a feeling: curiosity mixed with humility. The sky, no matter where you stand on Earth, inspires the same upward gaze. There is comfort in this shared human experience. It reminds us that we are not alone in our wandering. Across time and geography, people have paused, looked up, and felt the same gentle questions arise. As you rest now, imagine countless others beneath the same sky, breathing slowly, letting the night hold them. You are part of a long, calm tradition of watching and wondering. 32. Similar descriptions from people who never met. One intriguing aspect of UFO reports is how often people describe similar details, even when they have no connection to one another. Rounded shapes, steady lights, silent movement, these patterns appear again and again. This may reflect shared perception, shared environment, or shared ways the human mind interprets the unknown. Whatever the reason, the repetition feels oddly soothing, like hearing a familiar melody in different places. Repetition creates rhythm, and rhythm creates calm. When experiences echo each other, they feel less chaotic and more ordered. As sleep approaches, let this sense of gentle patterns settle in. Your breathing has a rhythm. Your heartbeat has a rhythm. The night itself moves in quiet cycles. You are supported by patterns older than memory. 33. Why UFO stories persist through time. UFO stories continue not because they are loud or dramatic, but because they are subtle. They don't demand belief, they invite curiosity. Each generation retells them in its own way, shaped by new technology and new language. Yet the core remains the same: something seen, something not fully understood. These stories endure because they speak to a deep human trait: the desire to look beyond what is known. As you drift towards sleep, allow that desire to soften. You don't need to search tonight. The stories can wait. Rest is enough. 34. The difference between science fiction and sightings. Science fiction often portrays UFOs as fast, noisy, and dramatic. Bright beams, sharp angles, and urgent encounters fill the screen. Real-life sightings, however, tend to be quiet and understated. They involve distance, silence, and uncertainty rather than action. This contrast can be reassuring. It shows that the unknown doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be subtle and calm. As you lie here, notice the quiet around you. There is no spectacle required. Sleep arrives not with drama, but with softness and ease. 35. Calm curiosity versus fear of the unknown. Fear often comes from imagining the worst. Curiosity, on the other hand, opens the door to gentle observation. Most UFO witnesses describe curiosity first, watching, wondering, and reflecting. Fear, if it appears at all, usually fades quickly. This shift from fear to curiosity is a powerful skill. It allows the mind to remain open and relaxed. As you prepare to sleep, you can choose curiosity toward your own thoughts. Notice them without judgment. Let them pass. The unknown does not need to be feared tonight. It can simply be allowed, calm and distant, as you drift into rest. 36. Why uncertainty can be comforting. Uncertainty is often seen as something to avoid, yet in quiet moments, it can be surprisingly comforting. When we don't have all the answers, the mind is free from the pressure to solve and decide. UFO stories live comfortably in uncertainty. They don't force conclusions, they leave space, open, quiet space, where curiosity can rest without urgency. There is peace in not needing to know, just as you don't need to control your breathing for it to happen naturally. You don't need to resolve every question before you sleep. As you rest now, allow uncertainty to become a soft blanket rather than a sharp edge. Let it cover you gently, giving you permission to stop thinking and simply be. 37. The night sky as a place of wonder. The night sky has always inspired wonder. Its depth and darkness invite the mind to expand, then slowly relax. When we look up at the stars, problems often feel smaller, time stretches, the rush of the day loosens its grip. UFO sightings often happen in these moments of quiet attention, when the sky feels alive and close. As you lie here, imagine the night sky above you, wide, dark, and calm. You don't need to see it clearly. Just knowing it's there can be enough to quiet your thoughts. 38. Stars that appear to move when watched too long. When you stare at a star for a long time, it can seem to drift or shimmer. This effect comes from tiny movements in your eyes and the atmosphere. The experience feels subtle and dreamlike, blurring the line between stillness and motion. These moments remind us that perception itself can be gentle and fluid. As sleep approaches, your awareness may begin to feel the same way, soft, shifting, and unfocused. That's not something to resist. It's a natural step toward rest. 39. How darkness softens our thoughts. Darkness reduces detail. It smooths edges and quiets distractions. Without bright light, the mind naturally turns inward, slowing its pace. Many UFO sightings occur in darkness not because it hides danger, but because it creates calm. As you lie in the dimness, let your thoughts lose their sharpness. Let them blur and fade, like shapes dissolving into shadow. You are allowed to rest now. 40. UFOs as symbols of mystery, not threat. For many people, UFOs are less about fear and more about mystery. They symbolize the unknown in a neutral, even peaceful way. They remind us that the universe is larger than our worries and deeper than our daily concerns. Tonight, let that symbol work in your favor. Let the mystery stay far away, quiet and harmless. You are safe here, grounded, supported, and free to sleep. Let the sky keep its secrets, and let your mind finally rest. 41. Why answers take time to emerge. In science, in history, and in life, answers rarely appear all at once. They arrive slowly, shaped by patience, observation, and the quiet passing of time. UFO investigations reflect this rhythm. Years, even decades, may pass before new information appears, and sometimes, No clear answer comes at all. This slow unfolding can feel frustrating during the day, but at night, it can be reassuring. It reminds us that nothing needs to be resolved right now. As you prepare for sleep, let time take over. You don't need to rush your thoughts or force conclusions. Tomorrow can wait. Tonight belongs to rest. 42. The universe as a vast, quiet place. Despite its immense size, the universe is mostly quiet. Between stars and galaxies, there is deep, near-perfect silence. This vast stillness surrounds every planet, including our own. Even when life feels noisy, we exist within an ocean of calm. UFO stories, when stripped of drama, fit gently into this picture: small, quiet events within an enormous, silent space. As you lie here, imagine that cosmic quiet extending all the way to you, wrapping you in calm, steady stillness. Let it slow your thoughts and soften your breath. 43. The smallness of Earth in the cosmic ocean. Earth is a single, delicate point of light in an unimaginably large universe. From afar, it would appear quiet and fragile, drifting peacefully through space. Remembering this scale can be humbling, but also comforting. Our worries are small when held against such vastness. UFOs, whether explained or not, remind us that there is more beyond our immediate view, and that we are part of something much larger. As sleep approaches, let that sense of scale lift the weight from your mind. You don't have to carry everything. The universe is vast enough to hold it for you. 44. Why not knowing can feel peaceful? Not knowing removes pressure. It frees the mind from constant evaluation and decision-making. UFO mysteries exist comfortably in this state of not knowing. They don't demand belief or action. Tonight, you can adopt the same posture. You don't need to understand your thoughts, your future, or your past. Let them rest unresolved. Peace does not require answers. It only requires stillness. 45. Letting questions drift without answers. Questions are like clouds. They form, change shape, and eventually drift away. You don't need to chase them or hold them in place. As you lie here, imagine your questions floating upward, thinning as they rise, until they dissolve into the dark sky. What remains is quiet, open space, perfect for sleep. Let your body sink deeper. Let your breathing slow. The questions can wait. Rest is here now. 46. UFOs as reminders of human curiosity. At their core, UFO stories are not about fear, but about curiosity. They exist because humans have always looked up and wondered what lies beyond the familiar. This curiosity is gentle and deeply human. It is the same impulse that leads us to explore oceans, study stars, and ask quiet questions late at night. UFOs remind us that wondering is not a weakness. It is a soft strength, a sign that the mind is alive and open. As you rest now, allow your curiosity to relax. It doesn't need to search or reach. It can simply exist, calm and content, as you drift into sleep. 47. The gentle rhythm of watching the sky. There is a natural rhythm in watching the sky. Clouds move, stars rise and set, the moon slowly changes its shape. UFO sightings often happen during these moments of still attention, when nothing is being forced. This rhythm mirrors the body's own natural cycles: the slow inhale, the slow exhale, the steady heartbeat. As you lie here, let your awareness settle into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out, let the steady flow guide you gently downward into rest. 48. How stillness invites imagination. Stillness creates space. In that space, imagination moves softly, without urgency. At night, imagination becomes quieter, more fluid. It blends thoughts into images and dreams. UFO stories live comfortably in this space between waking and dreaming. As you drift closer to sleep, allow your imagination to soften. Let it paint slow, gentle scenes that fade into dreams. 49. Resting beneath an endless universe. No matter where you are always beneath the same universe, vast, quiet, and steady. Stars may be hidden by clouds or city lights, but they are always there. This knowledge can be deeply comforting. It reminds us that we are supported by something larger and more enduring than daily concerns. As you rest, imagine the universe above you, holding everything in balance, allowing you to sleep peacefully. 50. Falling asleep with wonder instead of worry. To fall asleep with wonder is to replace tension with openness. It is to let curiosity soften into calm. UFOs, with all their unanswered questions, offer this gentle shift, from worry to wonder. Tonight, you don't need answers, you don't need certainty. Let wonder be the last feeling you carry into sleep. Let your body relax fully. Let your mind grow quiet. And as the universe continues its silent motion above you, allow yourself to drift easily, safely, and deeply into rest. 51. When the sky becomes a mirror for the mind. Sometimes, the sky feels less like something we observe, and more like something that reflects us back to ourselves. Its openness mirrors the spaciousness we seek inside. Its quiet reflects the silence we crave after a long day. UFO stories often surface during moments when people are already looking inward, late at night. In still places, when thoughts have slowed, the sky becomes a gentle screen for the imagination, a place where inner questions drift outward. As you lie here now, allow the sky to be that mirror for you. Let it hold whatever thoughts remain, so you don't have to. You can rest, knowing there is space enough for everything. 52. The comfort of not being the center of everything. Modern life often places us at the center of constant demands, messages, decisions, responsibilities. It can feel heavy to carry that focus all the time. Looking into the sky, and thinking about UFOs or distant mysteries, gently shifts that weight away. It reminds us that we are part of something much larger, something that continues quietly without our effort. This realization can be deeply soothing. You don't need to manage the universe. You don't need to solve its mysteries tonight. As sleep approaches, allow yourself to step out of the center. Let the universe turn without you. Let rest take over, effortlessly. 53. How mystery softens the edge of control. Control requires tension. Mystery allows release. UFOs exist in a space beyond control, unseen, unexplained, and unconcerned with our schedules or expectations. They appear and disappear on their own terms. At night, this can feel comforting. It gives you permission to stop controlling your thoughts, your breath, your plans. You don't need to direct anything now. Sleep is not something you force. It arrives when resistance fades. Let mystery take the place of effort. Let your body know it is safe to let go. 54. Drifting into sleep as the questions fade. As the night deepens, questions naturally lose their urgency. They become softer, quieter, less defined. Like distant lights in the sky, they grow dimmer the longer you watch them. UFO stories often end this way, not with answers, but with fading light and silence. Allow your thoughts to follow the same path. Let them drift farther away, until they are no longer distinct enough to hold your attention. What remains is calm, gentle awareness, the perfect place for sleep to begin. 55. A quiet farewell beneath the stars. Now, there is nothing left to do, nothing left to wonder about, nothing left to hold. The sky remains above you, vast, steady, and silent. The universe continues its slow motion, indifferent yet comforting in its constancy. Whether UFOs are lights, reflections, natural phenomena, or something yet unknown no longer matters. What matters is this moment of rest. Let your breathing slow completely. Let your body sink fully into stillness. And as the quiet stretches on, allow yourself to drift gently into sleep, carried by wonder, wrapped in calm, and held by the endless night. 56. When silence feels deeper than sound. There are moments at night when silence feels almost physical, thicker, fuller, more present than any sound. It surrounds you, not as emptiness, but as a gentle depth. Many UFO witnesses describe this kind of silence, not the absence of noise, but a feeling that the world has paused, as if everything is holding its breath for a moment. This kind of silence can be deeply calming. It gives the mind permission to stop scanning, stop listening, stop anticipating. There is nothing coming, nothing approaching, nothing required. As you rest now, notice the silence around you. Let it deepen, let it feel supportive rather than empty. You don't need sound to guide you anymore. Silence itself can carry you safely towards sleep. 57. The feeling of time slowing down. During quiet skywatching moments, time often seems to stretch. Minutes feel longer, movements feel slower. The usual rush of time softens into something gentle and unhurried. This sensation appears often in UFO stories, not as excitement, but as calm absorption. People stop checking clocks, they simply watch. Time slowing down is one of the body's natural responses to relaxation. As the nervous system settles, urgency fades. You may notice this happening now. Each breath feels longer, each pause between thoughts grows wider. There is nowhere you need to be. Time is no longer pushing you forward. Tonight, it moves at your pace, slow, steady, and kind, guiding you naturally into rest. 58. The sky as a reminder of patience. The sky teaches patience effortlessly. Stars take millions of years to form. Light travels vast distances before it reaches your eyes. Nothing above moves quickly without purpose. UFO mysteries fit gently into this lesson. Whatever explanations exist, they unfold slowly, over years or generations. Patience is not waiting with tension, it is waiting without strain. As you lie here, allow patience to settle into your body. You don't need immediate answers. You don't need immediate sleep. Rest will arrive when you are ready, quietly, without force, just as night arrives every evening, exactly when it should. 59. Letting awareness become wide and soft. When you stop focusing on details, awareness naturally widens. Instead of sharp thoughts, there is a soft sense of being, open, spacious, and calm. People watching the night sky often enter this state. They stop labeling what they see and simply experience it. This wide awareness is the doorway to sleep. It feels less like thinking and more like floating. As you listen now, let your awareness spread gently. Feel the weight of your body, the support beneath you, the space around you. Nothing needs your attention anymore. Awareness can soften, blur, and slowly dissolve, just like the edge between waking and dreaming. 60. Drifting beyond stories into rest. Stories help us understand the world, but sleep begins when stories fade. UFOs, mysteries, and questions all belong to the world of stories, interesting, gentle, and now complete. You've traveled far tonight, not outward, but inward, from curiosity to calm, from wonder to rest. Now, there is no need for words, no need for images, no need for meaning. Let the last story dissolve. Let the sky fade from thought. Let the quiet take over completely. Your breathing is slow, your body is heavy, your mind is open and still. And as everything gently recedes, allow yourself to drift fully into sleep, effortless, peaceful, and deep, held safely by the quiet night. 61. The comfort of repetition in quiet thoughts. As the night deepens, thoughts often begin to repeat themselves. The same gentle images return. The same feelings surface again and again. Far from being a problem, this repetition can be soothing. UFO stories often include repeated patterns, similar lights, similar movements, similar moments of quiet observation. These repetitions are not meant to surprise anymore. They are meant to settle. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity creates comfort. The mind relaxes when it knows what to expect. As you rest now, notice the gentle repetition of your breath. In and out, in and out. Nothing new needs to happen. Nothing different needs to appear. Repetition is guiding you softly towards sleep. 62. When the boundary between sky and self softens. At a certain point in deep relaxation, the sense of separation begins to blur. The sky you imagine above you feels closer. The space around you feels more connected to the space within you. People who spend long hours watching the night sky often describe this feeling as if they are no longer observing from a distance, but gently included in the vastness. UFO experiences sometimes carry this same quality. The event feels less like something happening out there, and more like a shared moment with the universe itself. As you lie here now, allow that boundary to soften. You don't need to hold yourself apart from the night. You are already part of it, breathing, resting, existing quietly within a much larger calm. 63. How attention naturally turns inward before sleep. Before sleep arrives, attention slowly turns inward. External concerns lose their brightness. Internal sensations become more noticeable. The weight of your body, the warmth of the air, the rhythm of your breath. This inward shift is gentle and automatic. You don't need to guide it. UFO sightings often end this way. 2. After the light fades, witnesses describe standing quietly, feeling thoughtful, turned inward by the experience. As you rest now, let your attention follow this natural path. There is nothing outside that needs watching anymore. Everything important is already here, quiet and steady. 64. Letting the mind become less specific. Specific thoughts require energy, names, explanations, timelines. All of these sharpen the mind. Sleep arrives when specificity fades. UFO mysteries soften because they resist precise definition. They remain vague, distant, and unresolved, qualities that align perfectly with rest. Allow your own thoughts to become less specific now. Details can blur, edges can soften, words can dissolve into feeling. You don't need to think clearly. You don't need to think at all. Let the mind become foggy, wide, and gentle, the perfect state for sleep to take over. 65. Resting in the quiet after wonder. After wonder has passed, what remains is often quiet appreciation. The excitement fades, the questions drift away, and a calm stillness settles in. This is the space UFO stories often leave behind, not answers, but quiet. You are in that space now. There is nothing left to explore tonight. No more sky to search. No more thoughts to follow. Let your breathing become barely noticeable. Let your body sink completely into rest. The universe continues its silent motion without your attention. The night holds you effortlessly. And in this quiet after wonder, allow yourself to drift fully, deeply, and peacefully into sleep. 66. When thoughts become distant and faint. As sleep draws closer, thoughts begin to lose their strength. They no longer feel urgent or loud. Instead, they grow faint, like distant lights barely visible on the horizon. This is a natural and gentle process. The mind is not shutting down, it is softening. The sharp edges of thinking smooth out, and awareness becomes quieter and more spacious. UFO stories often describe lights that fade rather than vanish abruptly. One moment they are there, softly glowing, and the next they are only a memory. Thoughts behave in the same way as you drift toward sleep. You may notice a thought appear, linger briefly, and then dissolve before it fully forms. There is no need to follow it, no need to finish it. Let it fade on its own, just as those distant lights slip quietly back into the night sky. With each fading thought, your body relaxes a little more. With each quiet moment, sleep comes closer. 67. The gentle blur between waking and dreaming. There is a moment when waking life and dreaming begin to overlap. Images become less logical, sensations feel lighter, time loses its usual structure. This gentle blur is not something to resist. It is a doorway. UFO experiences sometimes carry this same dreamlike quality, not sharp or dramatic, but soft and slightly unreal, as if seen through a veil. As you rest now, allow that veil to settle in. Let images drift without meaning. Let sensations float without names. You don't need to stay awake. You don't need to fall asleep. Simply remain here, in this quiet in-between space, and sleep will arrive naturally. 68. Letting consciousness sink below the surface. Sleep does not pull you down suddenly. It gently draws you inward, like sinking into warm water. Awareness becomes quieter, deeper, less concerned with the surface world. At this stage, effort disappears. There is no more listening, no more imagining, no more wondering. Let yourself sink now, deeper with each breath, heavier, calmer, safer. The last traces of thought drift away. The night closes softly around you. And without any effort at all, you slip fully into sleep, peaceful, complete, and undisturbed. I'll pause the video here for now. Thank you for spending your time with me. Throughout this gentle journey, every moment you listened, every soft breath you took, is something I truly cherish. If tonight's video brought you a little peace, helped you feel lighter, or simply gave you a quiet moment in the middle of a busy day, feel free to share your thoughts below. A good night wish, a short note, or even a few soft words would mean a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this content, you can leave a like and subscribe, so future videos can reach you more easily. Your support is what inspires me to create more calm, soothing stories to accompany you each night. I wish you a deep and restful sleep. A sleep where every worry gently fades as you close your eyes, and only peace, comfort, and beautiful dreams remain. Let your body rest. Let your mind drift softly, like a quiet mist. If you're still awake, don't worry. You can listen to more videos on the channel. Maybe a sound, a story, or a quiet moment will help you drift off naturally. Thank you for being here. Sleep well, and I'll see you again in the next peaceful dream.